In my last video, I talked about the influence the author Harry Turtledove had on me as a fan, as a writer. My initiation into Harry Turtledove's work was the Great War series. That was an alternate timeline explored where the southern United States gained their independence during the Civil War, and what it would be like dialing that up to the World War I era. Loved that series, read every book. Not only did he do a book in the 1870s, what was like 20 years after the Civil War, but he also did 3 books for the Great War, 3 or 4 books in the interceding years, as well as 4 books dealing with what the Second World War would be like in a completely altered world. And it is amazing stuff. However, my favorite series from Harry Turtledove is the World War series. And this was a series that I didn't jump in halfway or part of the way through. I started from the beginning and waited eagerly as each new book was released. The way some people would wait for Harry Potter books to be released. Now, the premise for these books is ridiculous, but kind of genius when you think about it. What if aliens invade in the middle of World War II, when every major player country is completely geared up for the fight? This isn't like War of the Worlds. These aren't tripod aliens. They don't have insurmountable technology. Harry Turtledove's take on it is these aliens are only slightly more advanced than we are now. So they have Harrier jets. They have atomic weapons. They don't have lasers. Nothing of that sort. This race of reptilians that has chosen to invade the Earth, they have a consistent 25,000 year history and have conquered other planets with a specific formula. They send unmanned probes out to prospective worlds to gauge what the planet is like and to measure the technological development of the inhabitants. Now, so far, they've only met much less developed peoples, also all reptilian. Earth was the first planet they sent a probe to that sent back images of not very developed creatures. They call us big uglies, which I always thought was very creative. Now, the probe reaches Earth and sends images back to their homeworld circa the year 1000. So one of the first images they get is of a knight on horseback. So they think Earth is going to be easy pickings. Now, the twist is that their process for getting an invasion fleet built, ready, troops trained and sent takes roughly 1,000 years. So by the time they actually get to Earth, they go through cold sleep. They don't have warp drive or faster than light speed or anything like that. They wake up and their ship is bombarded by radio signals because the biggest conflict in human history is happening on the surface. And they only brought enough military hardware to conquer people riding horses and camels with spears and swords. So what a pickle. Maybe Turtledove's imagining in this was that maybe that fleet was in our skies during World War II, and the choice was made by the commander to stay rather than turn back, hoping that with better tactics, better technology, he would be able to defeat human armies and human technology. Suffice it to say, it is grounded sci-fi mixed with a World War II flavor. All of the characters, especially the ones that existed historically, not just the fictionalized ones, are completely engrossing and immersive. Turtledove does an amazing job of making everything real. Yes, Harry Turtledove's big ideas and alternate history, yeah, it definitely had influence on the kinds of stories I want to tell. In the first book I wrote, They Come Out at Night, there are 2 endings, and it's obvious that there are 2 timelines, but the deviation point is not identified. My follow-up book, Larry's Cabin, it is completely set in one of the timelines. Each book stands perfectly well on its own, but if you read them both together, see the hints. My third book in the works, still trying to decide on a proper title, will again happen exclusively in one of the timelines. The reveal for the deviation point is going to be in the 5th or 6th book.